right. I'm in Kenya, Nairobi, and what better place to begin my journey other than on Plainview Road, and that was River Bank Estate Phase 1 where I started. Anyway, this is going to be an awesome trek, and I'll take you across the southern and central part of Nairobi. We are walking from the residential estates of South B and then South C and into the aviation and academic hub, and finally into the administrative and historical heart of the city. So along the way we will share a little bit of history with you, and as such, bear with me, because this is supposed to be a 2-hour journey, so I most likely will cut it into short segments of about 30 minutes, and be sure to watch all of them if you're to enjoy this trek. Anyway, right now I'm on Plainview Road, and this Plainview Road will go on ahead to meet Aoko Road and then Mwangeka Road, and just that in about a few minutes as we head. So for now, let me cross the street and walk on this other side. It's actually a hot afternoon here in Kenya, East Africa. Very hot in that I feel like being black, I'm absorbing all the melanin, all the ultraviolet light there is by virtue of having melanin on me. Anyway, we are soon meeting a junction, and this Plainview Road is a bit interesting. These are actually residential suburbs, and we can see these makeshift retail shops, I think, to cater for the needs of the people living here. Kenya has kind of embraced estates. Now there's a church there, and it's the Church of Uganda. ACK, I don't know what that stands for, but St. Veronica Church. I didn't know Protestants were using a lot of the same things, but anyway, we have left Oko Road, and we are taking on this Mwangeka Road, and this should allow us to go past the railway training institution. Anyway, the Plainview Road and Mwangeka Road are part of the 1970s middle class expansion. Mwangeka Road honors the Taita hero Mwangeka Wamaloa, who resisted British rule in the 1890s. It is actually a very commendable task that Kenya remembers its history. And imagine this gentleman tried to resist them in the 1870s. That is very, very intriguing. But anyway, let's just walk, and I'll show you the entrance to the Kenya Railway Training Institute, which gets me excited every time I walk this route, so you'll bear with me. I may occasionally turn my cameras a bit sporadically to kind of look behind as I cross these streets, and maybe to show you a few details along these streets. And right now we are on Mwangeka Road, so we plan to meet Sore Road in the distance, more of a continuation of this road. So it is a delight that I am your guide on this hot afternoon in East Africa, Uganda. I have actually enjoyed my stay in Kenya. It is a calm place, as long as you blend in and you don't stick out like a sore thumb. But no one has hurled any insults at me, well, because I'm black and I look the same. I see a signpost right there that is pointing you towards the railway training institution, but that is its main entrance, the main gate. It's a beauty, except that I don't think you'll be able to read the words inscribed on it from this far. And this railway training institute was established in 1956 by the East African Railway and Harbours Administration, and was built to train the workforce of the lunatic line aka the Kenya-Uganda Railway, and it remains one of the oldest specialized training institutions in the region: Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, basically East Africa. And let's just enjoy this Mwangeka Road. These stones, I saw them yesterday, and it looked to me like something, a derivative of limestone, but it looks like a sedimentary clay deposit. I don't know. I almost thought it's used for making cement, but I don't know where they are mined from. And actually, if you've been in Kenya long, you'll notice that most of their buildings tend to have blocks for construction. And if you look at this perimeter wall of the Kenya Railway Training Institution there, blocks look to be machine cut, so I think cut from rocks and then put in place. As a contrast, you can see concrete blocks or masonry construction units on this other side. I think they are being superseded by stone cuttings because the newer wall seems to have this. And there's also a trend around here where buildings are not plastered. Yes, for the perimeter walls I can understand, but you will notice soon that a great number of buildings are not plastered. Someone kind of told me it's a sign that a building is most likely in a low income neighborhood. And I keep seeing cars parked here. I don't know whether these are positioning themselves as car hailing services, because most of these areas have estates, and estates at times require that you have cars, and the cars are mostly owned by the middle class. And let me take this pedestrian walkway, and you will soon appreciate that Kenya has very wide streets. That is in comparison with Uganda, and gives me the vibe that it's probably more planned. Interesting tree, a thorn tree, usually a shrub, but grown very high. And Mwangeka Road, this is the stretch, so bear with me. I worry that my camera may overheat up in this afternoon sunshine, and therefore making it hard for me to record increasingly long videos, but I'll try my best, even if it means to sit occasionally and let it cool down. And I think I'll have to find myself buying a bit of a cold drink off the streets to do much. Oh, this right here is actually a primary school whose name I seem to have forgotten, but let me see if I will be able to get it for you quickly. Actually, I bypassed its signpost somewhere there, but this is school, and it is in connection with this, but this had something to do with plain view. Now let's go and meet the signpost right there. Perhaps it will do a better job of telling us where we are. And already in the distance, and you can see apartments, and I've noticed Kenyans are big on apartments. I think that was encouraged by the housing estates that allowed people to be more agreeable to group living, shared spaces. What I do not know is whether the communities in these estates actually bond together. Now I'm seeing here Plainview Academy, kindergarten, primary, and junior secondary. AIC, Africa Inland Church, founded 1895. Wow. Does anyone of you know African Inland Church? And at the bottom of the sign it says committed to reaching the lost and edifying the believers in the South B and beyond. So if you hadn't noticed, we are in South B, so we will be taking you as far as South C. Apparently, these areas mark the southern parts of Nairobi, Kenya. And I was telling you about no plastering on buildings. The building to the left seems to just have exposed masonry, but there's been an attempt to paint it, whereas the one on the right has seen plastering, mostly on the top parts, and I think probably as more of a design statement than a necessity. So I feel like it's a cheap way of constructing. Finishes actually consume a lot of resources. The amount of cement you need for plastering, I think, would be better used in other places. But I hate it that the frames are not designed to look like the very bricks that partition the walls. And I believe I have joined Surrey Road, if I'm not mistaken. And let's trek together. Motor spa. I didn't know where cars are washed out for spas. I have always known it to be for people and beauty. And yes, thank you for being with me, and welcome to Surrey Road. Welcome to Surrey Road. I do not know much about Surrey Road, but I think I'll give you a little bit of what I know about it when we meet Kapiti Road. This is going to curve towards the right, and then it should rejoin or join on to Kapiti Road. And yes, interesting. So these streets, if you notice, are becoming a little more and more organized, with a few, almost very little of the shanty structures. And yep, to let. To let means, I think, it's to be rented, something like that. And yeah, more into apartments. So we are still in residential suburbs. I think as cities see more people migrating into them, it's almost inevitable that apartments become the de facto form of accommodation. And you can see the number of high rises. The only thing that intrigues me now, if we look at that building right there, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 floors without a lift, and living on the last floor. I can only imagine the workout you have to undergo climbing all those flights of stairs. It's almost inevitable that there are days when there will be no electricity, and that's something that is inevitable in most African countries. We tend to produce less than sufficient electricity, and power at times is not just enough, and load shedding has to happen. Left side, I suppose this is Lakeside Estate, and most of the roads in this neighborhood, I've noticed, tend to occasionally mirror the name of the estates that are nearby. Cattle in the city, which tribe this is, I don't know. I have seen something like that in Kampala too, where someone has cattle in the city for the love of animals. Interesting grey apartment, and someone over the balcony just looking down. Wow, beautiful acacia tree. Purple. I don't know, purple always gets me going. And if you know where the origins of the acacia tree is, please let me know. I have mostly found it in educational institutions, more so the older ones. And in case you're wondering, yep, where we are still on Surrey Road, and the idea is to meet Kapiti, and Kapiti Road should lead us to the Nairobi Expressway, I believe, over which or under which we shall pass. Now, okay, Toyota. I think most of the rich people in East Africa tend to be cruising the Land Cruiser. Oh, I thought it was indicating erratic. Tracing back my location. So in case you're wondering, this is where Plain View Road that we came from terminates at, but it rotates around in that direction. It's almost like an oval road, but yes, it dropped us, or it could drop us, Plain Riverview. So a Plain View Road onto Surrey Road, and let's enjoy the streets together. Nairobi is actually exciting, and I wish I could bring you more footage from these parts, but bear with me. I have resorted to 1080 60p to allow for me to bring you more images from the streets of Nairobi, and my phone is heating up so much that I can literally feel like I'm holding onto a metal sheet of glass. The hot metal sheet. Highway Educational Complex, I suppose, because it faces the highway. I think I'm looking for shade, and any bit of it would do me good, so I want to cross to the left hand side, and I'm done with it. So crossing the street is just vegetable, like you would do in Kampala, Uganda. And Kampala is more chaotic. The streets are very chaotic. You have to dodge motorcycles and vehicles alike, so many of them. Kenya, however, on the other side, has embraced public transportation more than Kampala has, to the point that large buses do transport people, unlike the smaller, higher 14-seater taxis of Kampala. I cannot resist the comparison, but since we are in the East African community, borrowing ideas from here and there, something worth it. So now our walk is taking us onto Kapiti Road, that's Surrey Road, should actually meet Guthera Lane. So which estate is this? I don't quite know, but these gated ones tend to be more posh looking and much older, just as you would see this one over here. And they also have the 14-seater taxis, and the one that has just gone with the yellow strips. That's how you know you're hailing a taxi. I see a sign of no dumping of rubbish. So it looks like it's a vice everywhere in most cities. Someone gets their rubbish on waste and dumps it in front of others' building. No dumping. Yep. Surrey Road, like S-O-R-E, not sorry, like I'm sorry. And I had promised that when I meet Kapiti Road, I will tell you a thing or two about Alright, I'm looking for shade as much as I can get it. I know the rules of cooling. Yes, so we have met our Kapiti Road. So in a sense, let me see what I could tell you about Kapiti and Surrey Road. So this being Surrey Road, and the one we are crossing being Kapiti Road, and it's alright to tell you that these roads were actually named after the Surrey and Kapiti plains. Something you won't be able to see today, but these roads were the original borders of the city's residential zones and the central business city in the late 1960s. So should you be wondering, where Kapiti Road is coming from. Kapiti Road is actually coming from as far as let's see, Mukenya Road, which Mukenya Road could actually take you back to where we're from. So for now, we're going to take this route, and in taking this route, I think we are going to pass under the expressway, which you already see up there in the distance. I see a lot of furniture shops around here. I mean beds. Looks like Kenyans love their sleep, and beds are what people would buy. Nothing other than beds. No cabinets. Oh, I see cabinets and racks, but these look like mostly used ones that are being recycled, probably to target the people living in the lesser neighborhoods of the residential areas, by the slum areas. I thought I was going to pass under, but it looks like on the expressway that you see, I am going to use the Boulevard footbridge right here. And Boulevard footbridge should actually lead us to the Boulevard estate. Kampala to Nairobi, and enjoying Nairobi, Kenya as a pedestrian around here. This is a steep ascent. I think this is almost 30% rise. I feel like running a sprint up this is athletic trials enough. Now, the thing you're seeing there up, like sort of a storage building passing below this road, is the Nairobi Express, under which we will pass. But I think it traces the older road at the bottom, the upper one being the expressway, having been completed in 2022, commissioned in 2019. So it has seen two presidents overseeing it. I think Uhuru Kenyatta, if I'm not mistaken. But soon we'll go into the Boulevard area, which are named after a famous old cinema and landmark that once strode here. This footbridge became a vital link after this expressway was completed. And the expressway kind of physically separates South B in that direction, and then South C in this direction. I think let me just show you some bit of traffic action and the speeds at which these trucks go. I see this it's a dual carriageway, and do they call these lanes? I count 3. Suppose the same on those on the left. Yeah. And in case you're wondering, this is the Nairobi Expressway, and it's a delight to have you here. I'm taking advantage of the breeze under this bridge to achieve some bit of cooling on my phone. But we should be joining Polo Road in that direction, and that in just a bit. Okay, so I just want to show you the direction in which this highway is going. So, should you be wondering, this is the direction of Mombasa. So this is a highway taking you as far as Mombasa, and then definitely this is Naivasha, Nakuru, Kisumu, Busia, and then Uganda. And you can see an aerial view of these estates, and these are the Boulevard estates, which is a great delight. So let's go and join our Polo Road. And I do not know how long I've been rolling, but I believe sufficient enough to have shared a lot here. Do not forget, we are heading as far as the airport and medical centers of Nairobi. and then later on into the administrative areas, into the CBD, and hopefully reach Nairobi University or University of Nairobi. And so we are officially on Polo Road and also officially entering South Sea parts of Nairobi, Kenya. It's a delight. It's a delight. I think it is quite interesting to own cars in Kenya, because then, you know, the roads actually move. I have not seen jam, and I have a feeling Kenya must be much wider. Polo Road and Boulevard Estate are areas that represent the diversification of South Sea in the 1980s and 90s. So let's continue. We should meet more Poho Avenue and enjoy the views from there. For now, I think I am tempted to go to the right of the street, but should I not go, I'll be very fine. Anyway, let me see. Quite a long track crossing. Where it is going, I don't know, but I see Nema GIC Lab, and yep, that street has no name, but it should just be passing through a few estates there. Nema Kenya, National Environmental Management Authority. Wow, okay. I didn't know they had a branch here. Wow, I like the fact that Kenya chose to plant indigenous trees along this street. Those typical savanna grassland kind of trees. And I didn't know that those thorn trees actually grew to be that tall, having yellowish bark, which I like to think also means the internal wood should be a similar color or exotic color. I do not know why we have abandoned our native forests. Even on my way coming to Nairobi, I noticed a lot of eucalyptus, pine, Christmas trees, and all those fast-growing trees marking all lands from the rural to certain urban places. But it lets me that Nairobi seems to have a few of the non-indigenous trees and having more of the indigenous interesting plant. I've seen it in Kampala, the umbrella tree, and the National Environment Management Authority of Kenya is along the South Polo Road. So let's move. So the idea is that this Polo Road is taking us deeper into the into the South Sea neighborhoods or residential neighborhoods, where we should find more and more estates. A bit curious, I see a huge perimeter fence. To whom it does belong, I don't know, but it looks like uninhabited land, probably a gazetted piece of land by the city. Nothing on Google Maps, so I will not show you anything. So there's a government office here. Oh, continuation tour of the National Environmental Complaints Community Directorate of Resource Surveys and Remote Sensing. Great place. Just like in a city, street vendors are bound to be around. I do not know whether city council authorities harass them, but they look a bit organized in what they're doing. Honestly, I would be tempted to buy a shirt or two from there, but I see mostly t-shirts, jackets, and sweatpants. not my cup of tea. Oh, it's actually 2 p.m. and I'm just curious how long we've been running. We've been running 30 minutes now. So for the sake of keeping the video segments manageable, when we complete Polo Road, we shall start another video as a continuation of this one. And thanks for watching. I'm delighted to have you here. This is a great place. Tour Africa, enjoy Africa along with me. I shall share you journeys both exotic, urban, rural, and upscale and ghetto alike. So bear with me. I think don't mind my occasional keeping quiet, for it's just an opportunity for you to simply absorb what you see. Some of the things we'll see in real time, same as you. Seafowl Mobility. I think now they're in charge of selling brand new Toyota trucks, but on their list I see Truck 2, Hyundai Trucks and Buses, Automark, Autofast, Winpark, and all that. Kenya Bureau of Standards. Oh, so along cabs was Kenya Bureau of Standards. I've seen it on a lot of products from Kenya entering Uganda, but allow me just take you through this view. I see beautiful Lantana Camara, deep reds, yellows, oranges. Wow, what a beauty, what a beauty. I hope you are able to absorb it all in, and the view is interesting, and people I think are doing also general cleanliness. Oh, they are cleaning the lawns, sorry, removing vegetables and greens in white. I've never seen someone work in soil and wear white. That's new to me. Seafowl, National Bank, Kebs. Now I know Kebs. I used to think it's some sort of manufacturer. Yeah, working with soil and wearing white. Now Lantana Camara, I see purple, white, warm white, cream. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Little did I know that there were also such. Yellow. Wow. Now these, I'm not very sure whether this is Lantana Camara. Probably a variety of it. Yeah, have to bring up some of the agriculture that I studied. So that's the biological name. I think biological names, scientific names usually include genus and species combined as one. I suppose Lantana is the genus, and then Camara is the species. Yes, species, organisms that can interbreed, become a species. They can interbreed and form viable offsprings. Yep, it's a species. I think buffalo and cow, something like that, probably would be genus. More of the Lantana Camara. It's a beauty to behold. Okay, the lady wanted to be in my view. Thank you. Kenya, Polo Road. Okay. Polo Road. The Boma, Nairobi. What's special with the Boma, Nairobi? I think Boma is normally a Maasai homestead. I suppose the person meant homestead because it's accommodation. St. Louis School, kindergarten, primary, and junior. So I think most of the schools here incorporate all levels of education before high school, and therefore one could study in one school their entire life. Boma International Hospital College, Red Cross Road. We are now in South Sea residences, and these are still residential suburbs of Nairobi. I suppose for the richer citizens of Kenya, you can see those right there. Yep, I'm delighted to have some shade with me here. Great place, great place, great place. Now the trend is shifting from estates due to pressure on land into apartment buildings, extremely high-rise residentials. Nonetheless, as life becomes more individualistic, the youth becoming adults and only knowing to have lived with themselves, the apartments tend to find a welcome place to them. Nairobi County Alcoholic Drinks Control Licensing Board, Nairobi Rivers Commission, Republic of Kenya Weights and Measurements Complex, Nairobi South Sea. What would that be? I've just seen a water tower similar to something I saw at Makerere University College of Veterinary Medicine, Animal Science and Biosecurity. Only that there's a bit cylindric, hexagonal, tapering up, but that's the beauty. Why should a water tank litter the views of an otherwise interesting structure? So those are some of the things you can achieve with concrete works. Water tower. Wow. Great. Anyway, we are still on Polo Road, in case you're wondering, and that's me taking you through the residential neighborhoods of Nairobi. Having begun from South C, crossing the expressway having begun from South B, crossing the expressway in that direction, coming this side of South C. Guys, bear with me. Akiba Boulevard Estate. So yeah, you get it. There's always a gate. I suppose you can't just find yourself walking through. So I haven't been privileged to be invited into any of the estates to have a look. I suppose idlers are not allowed in. But then, maybe one day I'll request to move through one that is near us. Kenya Industrial Research and Development Institute. Is this a national institution? Probably yes. These are also apartments. Probably these were the successors of the low-rise to one-floor apartments, and this is South End Estate. Yep, South End Estate, all along Polo Road. I'm trying to get some shade from my camera, and as promised, I need to finish Polo Road for you. Yep, to my international friends, welcome to Kenya, Nairobi, South Sea suburbs. If you didn't start from the beginning, this video started from the South B areas, and now we are into the South Sea suburbs. Okay. Have I been calling it Polo or Popo? It is Popo Road. I feel ashamed. Popo Road, forgive me. Popo Road, please. I'm sorry. Yes. Welcome to South B, Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm on Popo Road. I see here KLB Road, whatever KLB is, I don't know. Oh, it's actually here. Kenya Literature Bureau, Publishers and Printers, Head Office. The Management University of Africa, all in that side of South B, South A, South C, ABC, South C. and South Sea. Bear with me, South Sea. South Sea, I'm sorry. First I butcher Popo Road being Polo Road. Now I butcher South Sea to be South B, to be South A, but it's actually South C. Anyway, let's continue our walk. Strangely, Kenyan streets are not that bad. I think if you're filming in a conspicuous way that no one does notice that you're filming, life can be very easy. Personally, I'm holding my camera to my chin and then occasionally shifting it to my ear to make it look like I am speaking in loudspeaker. So in case you want any tips on street vlogging with your smartphone, you could borrow a leaf. I'm actually feeding sound into my phone through a microphone. Is my mic, has it been on the right place? Right place. I think it hasn't. But yes, let's proceed. Yeah, I think you can see the signpost in the distance telling me how this is Popo Road, a name I was butchering. So this Popo Road should meet Muhoho Avenue and Muhoho Road. So in other words, if you do a sharp right, that should be Muhoho Avenue, and then if you do a soft left, Muhoho Road. Isn't that a bit redundant? Couldn't it just have been road or avenue once and for all? And who will argue? But that brings the question, does any of you know the difference between an avenue and a road? A lane I would understand because probably it's a one-way piece of traffic. So that's Muhoho Avenue in that direction, in case you're wondering. So Muhoho Avenue should proceed to take you back partly onto the Nairobi Expressway with a slight detour to the right, but then could proceed by turning left to meet Mahiru Road. Wow. Let's come back to our Muhoho Road since it's what we are walking on. We finished Polo Road and I think let me start the next video from here. See you in the next video. Ciao.